Hello everybody, it is Christine. It is time for day 9 of 30 Days of Sketches with Christy's Beautiful Life. It is also Rainbow Crush, and so my color today is orange, which is, you know, a little bit, it's fallish, right? Octoberish orange. So that's with the paper Snob, so I'll have links for that below. And then the 30 Days of Sketches, I'll have that playlist below. Of course, that's with Christy's Beautiful Life. And we do 30 exclusive sketches. And if you hear anything, that's my new kitten. She's playing with a little ball over there. So here's our sketch. I don't know who it's by. It's not watermarks. That'll be in the... If you go to the Facebook group that Christy has, all the sketches are in there. And the people who created them are in there. But we have... obviously 3 photos, and they can be round, or you can build like a little frame over the top of them if you like. But basically you got 3 photos with little mats and then embellishment clusters with the title in here. And then I'm going to call this like a rounded corner with a frame. I don't know if I'll round the corners. I mean, that makes sense with the round photos. I'll think about it. So what I pulled out is a September 2024 hip kit. You guys, I'm making really, really good progress on my hip kits. I think I only have two or three left, and then maybe I'll rejoin, because I had made a rule for myself. I wasn't going to get any more until I used up what I had a year's worth. So what I found in this set was, it's a school-ish, it's like school and fair, which is kind of neat. Luckily it did have this little orange polka dot in it. It's the back side of this, which is really cute, but I have to use orange. So we're gonna use orange, and then it has this really beautiful floral here. It has yellow on the back. I may gut this just because it is a really pretty floral. And so I've got that. And then I did get in my stash though, because I needed to add a tad more orange, because I did go through all the ephemera and goodies and stuff, but I did pull out a piece of orange cardstock because my thinking is I will mount the photos on that. And you know, maybe I'll grab that blue and do it too, because that might make it a little less just plain, I guess. I did pull out my circle, this cutter here. I thought about using my 3-inch circle punch, but it wasn't, I was going to lose a lot of my photos. It's my daughter, by the way. I believe this is the first day of 5th grade. That's why she's got a little 5 up there. Yeah, because that's her elementary school. I mean, I don't mind cutting this out because there's trash cans and stuff, but anyway, that's my pictures I got. And then I went through and I just kind of pulled everything out, because there's a bunch of ephemera still over here, but I pulled anything out that had like the orange going on. I like this a lot. I'm going to figure out a way to use this. But I pulled out stuff that has, like, there's an orange leaf. There's orange in all these bits here. So my goal is to try to use, here's another little frame as well. And then there's these florals. I wouldn't suggest there's a ton of orange, but it's kind of orange. That one's not orange, but it says Dress for Success, and I thought that was cute. There's orange lines on here, but I like this one perhaps a little better. We'll see. There's a few other pieces. Anyway, the point is I got a few pieces here that have some orange in it. So, and then my title here, I have this font here. I don't know what it's going to be just quite yet. 5th grade, perhaps. Maybe. There's little orange rub-ons and stuff. There's a couple of stars. Well, I set them down somewhere, y'all, and I don't know what to do with them. They're stars. I don't know what to do with them. And then I do have some enamel dots. Okay. So let me do my cutting, and I want to cut these out real quick, and I'll be back on in just a second. Well, you guys, I'm usually so organized with my layouts and the days I'm supposed to do them and all that kind of stuff. And I was supposed to do my rainbow hop yesterday. I was supposed to do it on day 8. And so, yeah, I'm on the wrong day, but I'll let Tara know, and I'm sure I'll get a pass. So basically, you know what? Hang on just a second. My cats are about to have a fit. Well, I'll tell y'all in just a second what's going on here at the house. But anyway, I've trimmed down that orange polka dot by 3/4 of an inch. And then I have cut my circles into 4-inch circles on the photo. And I'm going to cut my little blocks here into 4 1/4. And I will ultimately come in and mat those with the little floral paper. Now, the rule on the Rainbow Crush is to try to make your layout 75% of the assigned color. And I think I got that. I mean, I'm looking at the layout, the little orange polka dots, because it's white with orange. I'm not sure, you know, I hope you can see the orange. Obviously, the navy floral, there's orange flowers in it. And then I'm looking at all my other little pieces. And I did use, like I said, I pulled out the little orange embellishments and different things. So you guys let me know. Do you think it's 75% orange? So basically, you just saw a little head pop in there. We have gotten a kitten by accident. So somebody dumped this kitten. And I feel bad. We were going to have her like a little barn kitty, but she's not a barn kitty, y'all. She wants to be inside. Somebody had her inside. She has no fleas or anything like that. And she's very, very comfortable with inside. She knows how to use her litter box and all the things. And I'm like, oh man. So we got her inside. I got to take her to the vet first thing in the morning to get her some shots and stuff like that. But you guys know, you've heard me talk about Oreo and Saturn. Saturn's an old lady, y'all. She does not care to have anybody else in her space. So I got this kitten in here, and she's kind of minding her own business, and Saturn's kind of minding her own business. But if Saturn catches eye of her, she starts to growl. So I'm hopeful this works out, you guys. I don't know. I sometimes I don't know how to introduce cats, I guess. I've only ever, well, I had two long time ago, so I don't know. I have to have Tara give me some advice. I'll have to ping her because she's got 3. Okay, so I've got my orange photo mats with my little mat, the little floral as the background. I did a really, really thin mat because I didn't want you to see too much of the color. I just really wanted it to separate it from the orange polka dots. And then I had these florals that they're fussy cut. If I'm brutally honest, I think they're from a Christmas collection. So I try to cover up some of the non-orangey, like yellows and different things with the embellishment. So I think I'm successful. I don't know. I've got like a little bit that says discover new skills. I got that little this way, that way. Oh, I just realized I pointed it up instead of sideways when I glued it down, y'all. Oops. I'm having trouble with directions, y'all. I did a video the other day with, I guess it was yesterday. No. When was that? It was twins. It was it was with the beehive, and I glued it upside down. I just get so confused. I don't know. I'm going to just organize my embellishments here where I think they look good. And then I'll go off camera to glue them all down because it does take me a minute. In some cases, I use foam. In some cases, I use Nuvo glue. I did use foam, let's just say, under Discover New Skills. And then I used a little piece of foam under that way, the little finger thing. I used foam under Keep On Smiling, which is the little, it's upside down at the moment because I can tell the little orange stump or whatever. And then I used foam, well, not a little bit under the frame that I use in the lower right corner. So I filled that little frame down there. I thought that looked cute. So I find this little piece here that says you're rad. I was going to use it to put the date. I might still should have, but it says 5th grade. So I guess I kind of know what that is. And then I put that on top there with a little bit of Nuvo glue of that little journaling spot. I liked it because the little apple's kind of orange. I looked at these little rub-ons here. They're not going to work. I actually picked the star ones up in a second, but somebody knocked them off onto the floor. I don't know if the fan did it or the cat did it. And now there's cat. So there's cat hair all over it. And sorry, I had a phone call and it cut the phone off, or the recording off. So here's my little font. I'm going to just put 5th grade here. I'll set it all down. I'll actually shift it up again. Probably should have left some of this out actually, because I'm going to lay this down. And then when I start to put grade down there, I realize it's a little too low. So I will shift 5th up a little higher. And then I will use Nuvo glue actually to glue those down ultimately. They stick a little bit, but they're really not fully sticky. So we'll glue those down in just a minute with a little Nuvo glue. And then after that, I'm going to pull out my orange enamel dots. So, yeah, I'm looking at the layout. And I'm like, okay, Christine, did you get 75% orange? I think I did. I'm going to call it 65% at least. I just didn't have a lot of orange to work with per se, other than like, it's like an accent color on all the things, right? So, but I think it turned out really cute. Yeah, this is me messing with grade here. I do like this little font. I like the little tails on the R and the A. They kind of, swoop out. And I think that looks really cute. And then here's me pulling out my enamel dots. I'm going to use 3 in each little floral cluster. And the only thing I'm really sad about, though, is those trash cans are still in that picture. But the sketch didn't really call for an embellishment there. And I was like, if I start moving stuff around, I'm going to have to redo the whole configuration. And that really wasn't what I wanted to do. So unfortunately, there are still trash cans in the photo with my daughter at the bottom. But, oh, well, it's a skull. It is what it is. I messed with these in the upper right here just a little bit. I don't know why. I was like, where does this enamel dot need to go? Where does this enamel dot need to go? I even move it. I set it there, and I'm going to end up moving it because I decided I don't like it there. And then after that, that's the end of the layout, you guys. So it's technically a day late on Rainbow Crush, and then day 9 on our 30 days of sketches. But I think it turned out really cute, and I was kind of glad to get these documented because I've had these photos in my photo box for a while. I don't really know why, but there they are. So thank you guys so much for watching. Please make sure you check out the playlist. There should be 2 of them below. And don't forget to say hello, like, and subscribe, and all the YouTube-y things. And let me know if you're watching the 30 days, if you're watching other people too. It's going to be a big old set of videos. So you guys have a lovely day, and we'll see you next time. Well, tomorrow, I guess. Bye.